Madison County Live and Good News is brought to you by these great sponsors. Tell them you appreciate sponsorship of Good News in Madison County.
Welcome back, everyone. We are so pleased to have Richmond Fire Department's Public Information Officer, Corey Lewis, here with us this evening. Corey, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome, Colleen. Yeah, that's a mouthful.
It is.
Public Information Officer. But yeah, I've been with the fire department for about 17 years now, and we oftentimes during the Thanksgiving holiday are an unfortunate visitor to many homes in our community because of some type of fire over Thanksgiving holiday. Most of those fires revolve around holiday cooking. I think it's ingrained in us that on Thanksgiving that we have to cook. And
Absolutely.
Whether we cook the other 364 days a year isn't important, but today we must cook. And so oftentimes, even if you are avid cookers, there's multitasking.
Sure.
There's a lot going on around the
Sure.
holidays with different family members being in, and typically if you're hosting, there's lots happening. So you can be inadvertently have a fire because you're not really paying attention to what's happening in the kitchen. And Thanksgiving in the nation is the leading day for home fires.
Is it really? Tell us a little bit about that and tell us why.
Well, I would suspect in our country it's because people are inclined again to cook on that holiday, and there's a lot happening. So we want to encourage your viewers and all the listeners in our community to ensure that you're doing the right things if you're cooking or you're hosting on that holiday on Thanksgiving. So we want to make sure that if you are cooking, that you use timers, right?
Okay.
Ensure that you're making sure you're paying attention to what might be in the oven or what's on the stove. If you're broiling, if you're baking, if you're frying, be in the kitchen. Make a point to be around. You can multitask,
Sure.
but be aware of what's happening. Don't take long periods of time where you leave the kitchen while you're doing those activities, just to ensure that you're safe. And then always have a fire extinguisher in close proximity to the kitchen so
Okay.
that in the event you do have a fire, you know how to operate that, but you have that at your disposal. Many times we include just having a lid nearby if you're frying, because if you can put a lid on it, it'll essentially smother that fire. So stand by your pan, terrible pun line
Sure.
for cooking, right? But we want you to have a lid, be cognizant of what you're doing, paying attention, and in the event that you do have some type of small fire or something has gone wrong in the cooking process,
Right.
have a means to be able to put that fire out, or at least try to subdue that fire to some degree before you call the fire department.
Corey, tell us about using water. I know sometimes that's a first defense for people. What do you recommend and what actually happens?
Yes, so anytime you're actually using oil to fry anything, water and oil don't mix. Right. Essentially, if you poured water on a grease or an oil fire, it's going to evaporate very rapidly, cause the grease to come most likely out of the container that you're frying in, and then probably cause some type of fire, or at the very least a lot of smoke that smells really bad.
Right.
So never put water on a grease or an oil fire. Some people would tell you to put flour or baking soda. Those flour is not really an option. Baking soda has been proven it can work in instances. A lot of times people don't have that available.
Sure.
Having that lid, smothering the fire, and then turning the burner off is the easiest and simplest way to prevent that fire from becoming a larger fire in your home. So having the lid, being right where you need to be when an instance happens, paying attention to what you're doing is the most important way to prevent a fire from happening in your home this holiday season.
Corey, if folks are interested in investing in a fire extinguisher with this season coming up, what should they look for?
I think when people go to the hardware store, certainly you can get those at Lowe's, at Walmart, at Ace Hardware. You can get those at a variety of places, but you want to look for something that's easy to operate. They make a variety of different fire extinguishers now that look like aerosol cans that don't have to be problematic to use, and that can be just as effective on a fire as something you would see in maybe an industrial setting or something like that. So don't be intimidated by the look. Technology has changed over time. Go find something that you're comfortable using, that you can read the instructions on, that are very simple, and practice looking at those and knowing what to do before that emergency happens is imperative.
Important information. Very good. Corey, for more information, where can folks go?
Certainly, you can call us at the Richmond Fire Department at 859-623-1164. We have a very aggressive social media account, so we spread a lot of messages through our Facebook and our Twitter feeds. You can check us out there for more information. You can also go to the City of Richmond's website. We have a link on there where we share information and safety messages as well.
All right. Well, as always, we thank you so much for this important information, for your service to our community. We want everyone to stay safe this holiday season.
Glad to be here, and we hope the best for you and your family this Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Corey. We appreciate you.
You're welcome.
We'll be right back.